Hi everyone. I hope this sound meets you well. The computer was having a reverb, which was really strange, but it really helped and anchored this teaching on what if. So this teaching is about bending reality, breaking through the matrix, and obviously entering into that fifth dimensional life through using the Matrix 3D teachings, which is Source God, obviously offering us an opportunity of expansion and consciousness, and us choosing that we want to experience that, and therefore leading us to a fifth dimensional life on this 4D rainbow bridge. So the teaching today is on the words, what if? So in the 3D matrix, we'd say, oh, what if I'd done that? Things could have been so much better. And what do we do on Ascension? We look at a higher perspective. We say, oh, God was planting seeds for us, and we were all planting seeds for one another, and we're all one, and it all means everything, the higher our perspective can go. So what if? What if you changed the attitude, the belief system, the perspective of the phrase and the frequency of the what if symbol? Now, instead of what if this had happened, then I would be in a better position, instead we're now moving into a what if I believed in that epic, trippy, reality bending, lovely bliss reality. So then you see that the planted seeds of a lower conscious realm of focusing on the corridor of negativity upon the tool, for example, of language, that you do and will be transmuting everything purely based on your intention, your motivation, your desire, and your choice point to go onto the corridor of positivity. Now, this doesn't get into a debate on morality and opinions, because we all are realizing, and obviously guides like myself are teaching, that there is no opinion to be heard unless it is an experiential perspective being offered from one who has experienced such. Now that leads on to the second point, to point out that unless you have experienced the reality where you're like, what if there's fucking no tomorrow, I'd just rather there, what if my whole life was a waste of time, unless you've done the what if my whole life wasn't a waste of time, then there's really no opinion needed to be given or heard, unless they're here stuck wanting to come here, or they've here and they've obviously chosen to go there, because you can't go there without balancing out this one. So anyone that doesn't want to walk the path of heightening their perspective, even from a basic language point of view, they're obviously very much stuck in the belief system that you cannot change the frequencies and codes of a thought, e.g. a collective conscious perspective of what if life doesn't mean anything. So our beautiful job is to be like, woohoo, I was on the trip of nothing meant anything, and now I'm on the trip of it does. So you step off that roller coaster in terms of a language frequency, and we'll step over here. So what if? What if you forgot the whole of the matrix? What if you actually separated yourself from believing anything that you have had before, other than it was a watered down, minimal version of the greatest, highest perspective of what anything could mean, e.g. going back to oneness, going through all of the dimensions. So every single thing you have said, done, believed, witnessed, experienced is a microcosm showing you that just on this one language and structure of reality of what if nothing means anything, what if I'd done this, what if I'd done that, taking you on that entire snowball of regret, pain, judgment, comparison, competitiveness, depression, anxiety, death, because you're basically just like, I will give up, and you'll just live your life in the perspective of, I can't wait till I die because I haven't done what I wanted to. So everything from a guide's perspective, such as myself, who walks this path of enlightenment with the main vibration of oneness, sees the perspective of the polarity, because fifth dimension will have polarity, but you will have the perspective eyes of God's source to be able to hold space with it and understand what it's all there for, an experience where you're the awareness of that rather than being sucked into a certain perspective and only able to see it through those eyes. So using the terminology and the frequency change of what if, this is what we're here to do. We're here to stop oscillating up and down, and we're here to actually anchor into perspectives like this by then using them as an example to then implement the same awareness on everything. So what if nothing made sense now transmutes to what if everything makes sense, so that in the only moment there is of now you can say that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. My life has total purpose. What if I got all my dreams? What if I dreamt bigger? What if I believed in myself, for example, because that goes so big, because really that means you believe in God, source, quantum energy, whoop, 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 myself. And what if you stopped believing in the matrix? So what if you stopped believing in the 3D lower conscious thought streams, general awareness that things don't make sense and that you don't get your dreams? So spin it for yourself on what if you believed in the things you wish you could believe in. And like I said before, until you do that, you haven't got an opinion to be able to say, it's all right for you saying that because you believe you can do that. Yes, because you make up your beliefs by believing them, and then that's how you experience life. So until you try and have a happy belief, you would assume that there is only one thought way of being in your beliefs, but that's just because you haven't tried upgrading to another one, which is what we're saying. So once you do that, then that's the whole key code, that's the whole template, breaking free chains. Because once you realize it once, then you realize that you can do that for everything, which dissolves the ego, because then you're like, well, who am I anyway? Because if I'm not stuck to my persona and my egoic beliefs and they can all change, then that means I can constantly change in every moment, and no one should really say they know who Emily is, other than the path that we're now walking is that we would obviously want to be our peak super cool, funky beliefs where we say, what if I believed and you can fill in your blank for your most exquisite divine reality. Obviously, mine is, what if we all believed in each other? Yeah. And my friends, that's not a question of me not yet experiencing that. I do believe in you. I believe that you choose what you want to believe. Therefore, I hold no victim state for anyone if they are choosing to believe they can't change their beliefs. I know they're choosing to believe that to a certain extent, and the idea of my dream of us all believing in one another is to heighten and allow for self-empowerment to be a main vibration for who can awaken another. We can only show them the way and hope that we're able to deliver a path that seems attractive enough for them to come and walk on through. So my belief for us all believing in one another is that if I believe in myself, that shows someone else that they can believe in their self and make up their beliefs, which is obviously a good belief to make up your right self. And then that they would access that, implement the teaching for themselves, because I've said it's down to them, and that I believe in them. And obviously I do believe in them, because obviously you understand we're all one, and obviously by believing in yourself, you inherently will believe in another, for you'll carry the same vibration. You're aware that your DNA and your frequency can impact them, and that it's going to happen, because you then learn about ascension and you realise it's the whole divine plan, and there's no way of actually escaping divine bliss, because it's what you are. So yeah, what if, and I would love to know your transition from your what if lower conscious negativity to a higher version of a what if, and really go there, like, what if? You know, say the sayings that the Matrix offered us and transmute them and heighten them and play with them. This is the game. Like, it's about spotting those synchronicities, going, oh my gosh, I'm so taking that. Why did I always think that was just a negative thing? That's mad. Wow, I did that. It was right there. I could have always said, but because the collective agreed, no, we're experiencing this now. That's what we experienced. But now obviously everything's opening up, grid's opening up. It's like epiphany over epiphany, right? Obviously, age of Aquarius, age of enlightenment, golden era, we're just going to be poo, 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 poo. It's not about like opening up neurons. It's more accessing the like 80% of the DNA, which wasn't accessed before. And that's actually where we're dropping to those epiphanies. So yeah, I hope that this has met you well today. And I cannot wait to hear your upgrade from your what if. And then use that teaching to upgrade every part of your language and ultimately every part of your life, for it's only about navigating from one corridor of perception to the next. That's what we're here to do, to see through new eyes, from being the awareness behind, looking through a new veil, a veil of love, unity, co-creation, courage, abundance. See how the ego layers of the Buddhist, Hindu teachings, for example, are still in the matrix, to be utilised, to bring our ego with us. Say, the veil I now see through is love. You know, if your ego is saying, how, I want to see, I want to wake up, I want to be enlightened, you can be enlightened. Say to your ego, I am enlightened, I'm an enlightened master. See through the veil of an enlightened master. Who did I used to want to be? The Buddha. So I would say, what would Buddha do? And someone might say, that's funny, like, oh, what would Jesus do? Well, what would Jesus do? Maybe that's a really good way of seeing. Boom, what would Jesus do? Boom, what will Buddha do? What did I end up doing? Channeling to be that enlightened person, because I was genuinely activating the persona, the belief system, the reality of that. Just fun game. So if seeing through the veil of what if life was brilliant helps you shift your ego into the viewpoint that you're allowed to actually experiment in this way without trying to claw at awakening and say, oh, okay, I don't feel that I am enlightened, but if there was a veil over me, then it could be enlightenment. Then play. Like, it is about playing, and there's so many techniques that I channel to utilize to bring the state of being into the normality that says there's no rules. You're not doing it wrong as long as you're playing with the intention of navigating from there to there, knowing that they're both going to be there in your fifth dimensional life, and that you've ended up loving them both equally, bringing you into that state of oneness. So yeah, so I really hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know below, and obviously know that my programs help you navigate from very beginning to that intermediate master status, to redesigning the matrix and walking into that bliss state life. So my name's Emily Jackman. My website is holdingspaceforyou.co.uk. You can email me at ascendwithemily@gmail.com. And I'm having the time of my life, and I love every single person that I get to work with, because then I get to honour and witness the play of their life too. So I look forward to meeting so many new people and channeling for them. Namaste. Thank you.